I think, a trend I notice of most individuals, whether a student or a seasoned professional, is a lot of individuals have a very narrow view on companies they want to work at. And I think in today's job market, the Bureau of Labor and Statistics supports something like 3 to 4% is a successful job search, meaning that if you apply to 24 jobs or 35 jobs and you get one that you're really suited for, that would be successful. So as a student, I would say I need to come up with a list of 50 to 100 companies. And I know that can be daunting. There's 3 basic criteria I would use, and I think these criteria would help a C student really engineer their job search. And that is to build specifications for yourself. So I would start off with location. And by location, a lot of students say, I will work anywhere in the United States. But to say that, I know sounds like, wow, I'm being open to possibilities. I actually view that as limiting because no one could focus on the whole of the United States. So what I advise students to do is pick 2 or 3 central locations. For example, Greater Los Angeles area, San Francisco Bay Area, Greater New York City area, Greater Midwest, which might include, Dallas, Texas, some of those key areas, for example, companies and integrated circuits might be there. I would then ask students, once they have that focus on location, to focus on company size. So again, students will say, I will work at any company. And I said, well, you'll work at a startup? And they said, yes. And I said, will you work at a global organization? And they said, yes. I said, okay, so you really will, but I want you to pick 2 or 3 subcategories, meaning startup, mid-sized, global, and then find companies that fit in that criteria. Lastly, I would ask students, well, what is it you want to do? So for example, a student may come in and say, well, I want to do software engineering. So luckily for a student who says that, most companies have software engineering. We're in a time of big data. It's very applicable. Another student might say, well, I really want to do RF antenna design, right? Well, they need to think differently. But now that they've got these 3 data points of location, size, and role, they should start approaching finding individuals and networking with these individuals. So let's focus back on this list of companies. A great tool, again, is LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, you can actually go to a company search. There are over 3 million companies. You can put in your industry. So, for an engineer, it might come up as electronic manufacturing. For a finance person, it might come up as banking. For a computer science person, it might come up as technology and information services. You can then pick your company size. You can pick more than one. And then you can also pick, again, location. So when a student comes to me and says, I want to work at, Facebook or Google, for example, what I really try to stress to them is, well, what about the companies that are great, just like Facebook and Google, but you don't know the names of? If you can strip away the name and come up with, Google is in San Francisco Bay Area, it's 10,000 plus employees, for example, and I want to do role A, B, or C, you've now developed a criteria for the companies you're looking for.